Welcome to Team Building, Stages of Development and Personality Preferences. The first stage of team building is called forming. Every team was created to accomplish some task. Therefore, task management is one of the two main issues for any team building effort. The other main issue is to create and maintain good working relationships. Teams can range along these two dimensions, getting things done, i.e. task management, and doing it within a good team spirit, that is, relationship management. When teams first form, they are here. The relationships are shallow, perhaps friendly, but shallow. Everyone is making nice. It's the honeymoon period, so authentic relationships are at a low level. And the tasks are simple. The team has not yet got down to the nitty-gritty of actually having to perform. At this stage, it is mostly talk, so task accomplishments are low. What are the type issues at the forming stage? Extroverts are energized by working with a new team and express their energy outwards by talking a lot, which appears to the introverts as talking too much. Introverts are energized by understanding the new team and express their energy inwards, which appears to the extroverts as being somewhat aloof. Sensors want to focus on the details of the team, such as meeting times, written goal statements, and dates for the next meeting. Intuitives want to focus on the big picture, like the team's purpose, mission statement, and how the team fits into the strategic issue of the organization. Thinkers want to clarify how decisions will be made, and feelers are focusing on the interpersonal relationships that are beginning to develop. Judgers want to bring some closure, even at this early stage, on the team goals, while perceivers think that it is premature until more options have been explored. Different type preferences are pushing in different directions, so there's a good chance that misunderstandings will develop. The second stage is called storming. It's called storming because the teams have started to be more honest with each other and differences of opinion are surfacing. Paradoxically, while there may be more arguments at this stage than at the forming stage, the relationships are actually deeper and more work gets done. However, there's a limit to the amount of work that gets done because the teamwork needed to do so is limited by poor relationships. If the team leader spurs the team on to get more done, it can't be sustained because the poor relationships limit the team's outputs. What are the type issues at the storming stage? When problems surface, as they inevitably will, and tension mounts, extroverts meet it by engaging more, asking direct questions, challenging authority, and introverts become even more reflective, wanting to understand where the problems are coming from before they openly engage in trying to solve them. As problem solving gets more involved, the ever-practical sensors begin to chafe at the time it's taking. They want to get the job done and get back to work. Intuitives are sure that the problems are related to fundamental misunderstandings of the big picture issues, so they resist the sensor's practical applications as being a band-aid approach. Thinkers want to solve the problems using formal, logic-based problem-solving tools and are frustrated by the feelers who keep the focus on the relationships. Feelers are beginning to be alarmed and some wish they'd never gotten involved in this team. Judges are frustrated by the lack of closure and are beginning to push for any closure. Perceivers think the answers to the problems lie in creating even more options for consideration. Different personality types don't understand each other, so anger develops and tempers flare. The third stage is called norming. It's called norming because the team is maturing and beginning to establish group expectations or norms around the team tasks and relationships. What are the type issues at the norming stage? Extroverts begin to appreciate the needs of their introverted teammates. They slow down and listen better. Introverts begin to appreciate the needs of their extroverted teammates and start to value their social energy and get more comfortable with it. Sensors begin to appreciate that details need a big picture for context, and intuitives begin to appreciate that the big picture has to be fleshed out by detail. Both begin to appreciate that one without the other is incomplete. Thinkers begin to realize that logically, feelings are an important variable to consider in decision-making, and feelers begin to realize that impersonal analysis can lead to carrying decisions. Judges begin to let go of the responsibility to get it all wrapped up in a tight time frame set of goals, and perceivers begin to trust the need for closure that their judging teammates bring to the table. Different personality types are beginning to recognize the constructive use of differences. The fourth stage is called performing. It's called performing because the team has matured and now understands how to use the individual differences of its members. And more importantly than just understanding that differences can be constructive, they have experienced it. What are the type issues at the performing stage? Extroverts have learned the value of reflection and trust their introverted teammates when they say that more thought should be put into the issues. Introverts make it easier on their extroverted teammates by speaking up earlier, trusting that their extroverted teammates will slow down if asked. Sensors and intuitives both sincerely value the blending of the details with the big picture. Each preference trusts the value of the other's perspective and accepts that it takes time to create the synergy that will eventually produce the best results. Thinkers and feelers both listen attentively to each other and respectfully seek solutions that are win-win in nature. Judgers appreciate the options, often creative options, that perceivers bring to the team, and perceivers appreciate the closure that their judging teammates bring to the mix. Judgers realize that a purely judging approach might be faster, but it wouldn't likely be better. Perceivers realize that creating lots of options without closure is ultimately frustrating and unworkable. Different personality types fully recognize the constructive use of differences and make use of them to build a winning team. Teams are at their colorful best when they move past the storming stage and mature into a performing stage. Here they can accomplish great things by relying on each other's different personality strengths.